All right, here we have the kiwi slash mango chemical detoxifier slash industrial solvent remover. It has one medium kiwi, 1/3 of a semi-green mango. Actually, my mango is pretty green because these little chunks are pretty rock hard, so it takes an intense blender to blend them up. 2 tablespoons of honey, 2.5 tablespoons of coconut cream. Mine's pretty fermented, but I like it that way. It's more effective. Then 1 tablespoon of dairy cream, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. There's kind of a lot of, well, there's going to be a lot of air in here when I'm finished, but I needed this 16-ounce jar to fit in all the ingredients. Then after you blend this up, you're supposed to mix it with 2 ounces of sparkling mineral water, but I put a little bit of water in here to help it to blend better. So I'm going to put a little bit in there now, not all of it, because it is going to fizz up. And then the blender blade thing. So here's the blender blades from the blender cup. This is a Cuisinart replacement washer, which is a little bit bigger and thicker and stays in place. And then you put that in the blender bottom. So all that together. And then, well, actually, let me put this in there first because I'm going to have to push down the mango a little bit to get it seated in there. So once it's in there, you want to make sure the washer doesn't slip into the jar. I've only ever lost one washer, and that happened when I screwed the top on too tightly. So here you want to get this tight, but you can kind of tell if the washer stays in place. Maybe you can even see it underneath if it bubbles out, but that's just kind of something you get used to with the feel. Then if that's on there tight enough, you put that on the blender thing. I'm going to start this on high because it's going to take a lot of force to get those chunks going. So turn it on, get it going. Now once it started, it kind of whipped up the bottom and didn't get to the rest. So then I put it on a lower speed, or medium. Now you can see it's kind of incorporating the rest in there. With this particular blender, you can even put it on food chop, which goes forward and then backward and then forward and backward, which is really good for incorporating those chunks. I really recommend this blender. It's the Oster Fusion, and it's got a heavy-duty chain belt drive, and I've had it for years. So now that I got all the chunks incorporated, I'm going to hit stop and then just go forward on medium to get it kind of blended. Since there is a bunch of air in here, I don't want to go for too long, and this thing also generates some serious EMFs. So just kind of go as long as you need to, maybe a little bit of max for that last whipping, and now you got a nice consistency here. Take the blender caps off, make sure you didn't lose the washer, it's still there. And then at this point you can pour the rest of the water in, but just be careful that it doesn't fizz up and overflow, and if it does, just go in there and sip the foam off real quick before you lose any of these precious ingredients. And then there you have it, the kiwi mango chemical detoxifier industrial solvent remover, and it's delicious. I use this for my fruit meal. I would never do this and a fruit meal on the same day because that's just way too much fruit and way too much sugar. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions.